I do speculate if we're going to see anything like we have in the meme craze, the NFT craze, the alt craze. Like, is there room for another one of those crazy moments in crypto, or do you think that that's done?
I I mean, the reason why I say I hope not is because I fundamentally believe a large part of the energy behind those crazes were, and I wouldn't use the word craze. They were people really cared about them. People really cared about them. People a lot of their lives on the line
Yeah,
for them. Um, but
we all did.
post COVID energy. I mean, let's not forget, man. Like, as in, we were locked in for quite a while, where for the first time in however many years of history. And there was this scary thing floating around in the air that was, you know, capable of really seriously harming, maybe even killing our loved ones. And we kept calm and we
Yeah.
carried on, and eventually we came out. Obviously, that's going to have subconscious effects. And the great grand
Mm,
liberation of energy that happened after that, in terms of saying, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to do that, and we're going to make this happen, we're going to that happen, there was a lot of freneticism, a huge amount of freneticism,
right.
right? And that
Yeah.
freneticism sometimes exists for a number of months or years. And it was what, 3 years of freneticism for about 2 years of on and off lockdowns. Um, and
Mm,
if there is another mass global cataclysm that leads to this sort of thing, yes, we're going to find crazes again. This happens, right? Um, I hope that doesn't happen in quite the same way. I don't think we're going to find the same um, pattern breaking frenzies as we did. But I do think we're going to find very interesting new models and products coming out very soon that are just not that sexy. Like, I find it sexy, but I have I have a very weird
yeah.
sort of idea of what is interesting or not. But like DePIN, for example, decentralized physical infrastructure, you start looking at folks like SF Connect or SF Compute in San Francisco who are building an exchange for DePIN tokens, right? You start looking at um, the way in which compute is becoming is may well become currency, and what's stopping that from happening, or what is not going to stop that from happening. You start looking at that sort of space as,
Absolutely.
that's where we need to be looking at as professionals in the realm of decentralization and centralization translation. That's the sort of stuff we need to be able to code
Mm,
switch between very quickly to serve, because if we don't, hyper centralization of physical infrastructure for I think we can all agree is not in everybody's interest. Hyper decentralization doesn't really serve everyone in the way that the efficiencies of centralization do. But the time for us to really grapple with this is now, because if we don't look at this quickly, we're going to miss the boat. So even if, for example, BitTensor, if Tau isn't the solution to the world's problems, at least engaging in communities that are looking at how to use the abundance of technology to solve this in the name of plurality, just surrounding yourself around people like that is going to lead naturally to environments where you start to see the real alpha and the real gold, right? And there are a number of projects out there that are trying to look at this sort of stuff in the same way. So I think the health of the sector is actually very good, despite the fact that a lot of the excess clothing, let's put it that way, that the sector has created has been
mm.
shed. It's still robust, it's still healthy, the technology is still abundant.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people have that mindset, and it's a very refreshing place to be. I think, we've got many people that will come on this show, for example, and I can assure you that every single guest that comes on here would have the same thought process in regards to this technology. And these are the ones that have been championing it and building and actually making this something that's viable and usable and is excited about its core, rather than some of the hype and however we've described it. So I think that I'm in agreement with you across all of that, and I think something that's very interesting is it's in the data as well.